Well, hi everyone. This is Christy, and I want to welcome you back to part 2 of my video series on how to use your story to get more clients and become a best-selling published author in 2016. So, in our last training, we talked about a few things. First of all, we talked about how becoming an author will help you attract new clients. We talked about how it will also help you connect better with your current clients, how you will be able to how you'll be able to leave a legacy by sharing your story in a book, how sharing your story can help others. We talked about book and product sales. And then finally, we talked about the fact that you'll be able to get paid to speak if you've got a book. And then what's next on our agenda? What we're going to talk about today is why your story matters so much. We're going to talk about why our project is the best. We're going to talk about the many ways you can leverage your new author status. And then we're going to talk about how you can join our project. So let's just kind of dive right in. I want you to really understand and know how easy it is for you to actually have your picture on our next Overcoming Mediocrity book. And I want to explain all of the crazy benefits that go along with it. But first, let's talk about stories in general. Because it's really important if we really have time to talk about and think about why our stories really matter so much. So, what are the 4 most dangerous words in the human language? Once upon a time. This is really the best way for people to, really make their point across is when they tell a story. Just think about when we were kids. We used to hear all kinds of stories, and what we called were fairy tales. This was the Disney fairy tale life, is what I like to call it. This is when all little girls grew up thinking that they're going to be swept off their feet by a Prince Charming or a knight in shining armor, and that will take them away and life will be perfect and they'll live happily ever after. And though we do have great lives and we will appreciate our lives are never going to be as perfect as we learned back in those fairy tale days. But it was a story. Those were stories that Disney told us to really resonate with us, what they wanted to share with us, basically, their agenda. And then if you think about Jesus and what he did back in the Bible, he told parables to be able to do his teachings. He realized that stories are irrefutable, and that was really the best way for him to deliver his message. As I mentioned earlier, I feel that the most significant thing that we can do to add value back into this world is to master the narrative of our lives. All of our leadership and money-making ability rests in our ability to discover, craft, and deliver our personal story or message in a way that will allow people to connect with us. The right story, shared at the right time with the right person, can alter the trajectory of their life. And then there is nothing more important in this world than the relationships we build and the legacy we leave in the lives of those that have crossed our paths. And it's the experiences that we have along this journey that really defines our individual uniqueness and creates our own personal, powerful blueprint or unique story snowflake. It is this blueprint that can empower us to possess a distinct advantage over every other person in this world if leveraged correctly and shared. If we don't have the courage to share our snowflake, it will be lost forever. No one will have the same story, and no one can repeat your story. Therefore, those who come after you will never learn anything from what you experienced and what you learned if you don't share it. So you may be thinking, what does this really have to do with your business? Well, think about it. Your current or future customers don't really care as much about your occupation or your credentials as they care about who you are. You are what makes your service or product unique. They're really not concerned about buying your knowledge as they are looking to emotionally connect with you and the story that is attached to you. They don't care about the fact that you got there. They only want to know how you got there. So let's talk about why your story is so important. First of all, it's your life story that makes you an expert. Your story, again, is what makes you unique and will make you an expert in your field. It's your story that is the gateway to connecting to your ideal clients. Now, of course, you're not going to connect with everybody, but what you want to do is have the strong, what I call avatar clients. These are the perfect clients that are perfect for you and for your needs and for your customer base. You know, who are you looking to connect with? Some business owners feel that they should create a product or a business that can serve everybody. And I don't agree with that. I really believe that everybody should define who their current or who their best customer avatar is and create a niche in their business that will only cater to that. Will not, maybe not only, but mainly cater to that perfect client avatar. If you can fill your database with your perfect clients and not all your headache clients, you're going to be much more productive and grow a much stronger business. And it's your story that's going to help you connect with those ideal clients. People will relate to you and your struggles. What it does is it builds the know, like, and trust factor with them. And then people will bond with you as much as or more for your failures than for your successes. And finally, knowing you overcome your life challenges gives them permission to overcome theirs. So let's go now into why our project, or why I feel that it's best to be a part of a compilation project like our Overcoming Mediocrity project. First of all, being in a book like this will save you lots and lots of time. When you do your own book, which I'm hoping eventually you put that on your agenda and accomplish that, but when you do your own solo book, this is a project that will take hours and hours, and if not months and weeks and months and years to accomplish. I know it took me over 4 years to be able to put my solo book together, and hours and hours of putting together the pages within that book. And when you are a part of a compilation book like ours, you just have to write one little chapter. You just have to basically share your story. That's all. And then you've got your book. The next advantage of being a part of a compilation book is it will save you money. Your investment in a book like this will be a fraction of what it would cost to have your own solo book. So if you haven't researched that, what it costs to be able to produce your own book, It can be 8, 9, 10, up to $20,000 or more to do your own book, which is way more than your investment in this project. Another benefit is you're going to get real results real fast. Not only will the whole writing process be quicker for you, but then the whole publishing portion of it is super fast, because once we get all of the stories in, we put our project on full speed ahead and we get the whole project done, the book published, printed, and in your hands shortly thereafter. You're going to get a lot more exposure in a book like this because, first of all, you have our organization promoting you. We have a tremendous marketing plan that I'm going to go over with shortly that will really get you exposure in a lot of ways that you would have never got by promoting your book on your own. In addition to that, you're going to have 20 plus other women sharing your book. So as they market their own book and get that into the hands of their customers, those customers are also going to learn about you. So it really multiplies your exposure because you've got a whole team of women doing the same efforts you are to get that book out there in the hands of a captive audience. And then finally, you're going to have a lot of growth with this. We really do a lot to, sorry, to really share your book through Amazon for as long as the internet lives, which we know will be forever. And as our project grows, the exposure for each of our authors will grow with it, which means that you'll have a never-ending audience wanting to know more about you. This will provide you unlimited business growth potential. So far, does it sound pretty good? But I'm sure you may be thinking, I don't know. It sounds kind of good, but I really don't have a story worth sharing. And I can bet you are wrong. And I know I first didn't think I had a story worth sharing. And then when I was asked to be in a project like this, but with if just a small conversation with Michelle, who invited me, and she really got me to think about all the different aspects of my life that I went through that if I shared could help others. In reality, what we do is we kind of go through our lives and we go through our stories and we don't really think that they're that special because we had to do it. We didn't have any other choice. And we got through it and we came out on the other end, and it just kind of becomes part of our DNA. And we don't really realize how special that story is to share with others. So you do have a story worth sharing, and I can help you bring that out. You also may be thinking, maybe I do have a story, but how do I share it in a way that will make the biggest impact with my target market? Well, that's where we help you. We have all of our authors will have a strategy session that will kind of go over the different stories that you potentially have. And then I can help you define which story you want to expand upon. And then we'll kind of highlight a couple of the key points that you want to be able to come across to others. So don't worry, I can definitely help you with that. And then finally, you may be thinking, I don't need to share my story for my business to succeed. And I challenge you to rethink that, because you may have a successful business, but the more you can get out there and become a real person to your clients and a real person to your future client, and they get to know you as a person, that commitment is going to become very strong, and that's when the loyalty begins. It's great to build your business through various means, Some means work better than others. My preferred way to grow my business is through referrals. I love referrals way better than I love getting out there and making cold calls or doing internet marketing, or even going to networking events. I love getting a referral from somebody that knows, likes, and trusts me from a referral from a referral partner. So that's kind of the same principle, is once you get your story out there and your prospects get to know you, they kind of form that bond with you and they start to know, like, and trust you. So it really makes that relationship stronger for you to be able to have that person be a really, really loyal and long-term customer. So for today, that's kind of all I really wanted to go through with you. I wanted to make all of these trainings very, very short. We do have one more training, and we're going to just basically go through how you can be in this project. We're going to go over the logistics of what's involved, um, and how how you can get going in it. So for today, I want to thank you for your time, and I will see you in training video number 3.